What's up, YouTube? And I don't know if you all heard, but Tiffany Haddish made a statement about women who have at least two baby daddies or more. She was on In Godfrey We Trust, the podcast. Godfrey is a comedian from Chicago. And she said that she believes women who have more than two baby daddies, so three or more, often have some sort of mental illness. And then she also claimed that having children with multiple men, women who do this, could lead to genetic changes because of things like fetal microchimerism, if I'm saying it right, and that's where fetal cells remain in the mother's body long term. So here's In Godfrey We Trust. I'm reviewing it. Shout out to the content creator. Please drop that. Go ahead and check out his content or her content as well. Here we go. I'm gonna let you all hear it straight from Tiffany, and let me know what you all think.
Women that have more than two baby daddies usually have some sort of mental illness.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, because you're getting genetically modified too much.
When you
I think, okay, so this is what I know. Every time you get pregnant, right, there's stem cells that come from that baby. And that's them stem cells end up behind your eyes and your brain and your heart and your lungs and stuff and help your organs heal while the baby taken from you. And those stem cells will always stay with you, right? So that means that man is always in you. And that is why,
Ooh, that makes
the
sense.
Bible says you will only desire your husband. Correct. This is why you gotta use condoms, because that baby batter get up inside you, and the uterus is very porous, much like the mouth, right? So when anything goes up in there, it automatically the uterus starts to absorb it. It starts going through the vaginal walls and all that, and the blood it gets into the bloodstream, right? And so it takes
Get in there.
so it takes like 6 weeks to get a man out of your system, and it's because he's starting to bind to your DNA, right? And that's why it's couples when they be together too long, they start looking alike. You start looking like him.
Wow.
Like it's not the guy don't start looking like her. She start looking like him because he is genetically modifying her, and every time you get pregnant by him, you start to get modified, right? So if you get pregnant by multiple peoples, right, that's multiple spirits, multiple thoughts, multiple modifications from different DNA strains that have mental stress. So it's very evident. Like what I'm saying is very evident. It makes sense because like you got all these dating apps, all these women like free sex, free this, whatever. You know, I'm doing money. I'm living. I'm exerting my sexuality and all this. And I don't care if I got 5 kids or 5 baby daddies, whatever. Usually those bitches are mentally, they're struggling in so many different ways, not just financially, but also just like on where to focus, how to whatever, because you got too many different blood.
Too many kids. I mean,
You have mental illness. So that was my theory on sperm.
That makes sense.
That's very, very.
And that's why
so
you can't
deep.
just,
Sorry,
that's why you
sleep.
have to use condoms, ladies. That's why you have to use condoms. We cannot genetically modify men. Now,
Henny Honky, please drop that shit.
So there you have it, out of Tiffany Haddish's mouth. Now, her comments have sparked controversy. Critics are saying that her claims are not scientifically supported and they perpetuate harmful stereotypes. Mental health professionals say that maternal stress and mental health challenges are often caused by socioeconomic factors rather than biological or genetic causes. So they're just saying finances, where they live, how much money they make, not by men and, you know, after having sex with the men. And so now, his sperm is now in her, and, sperm is DNA, and then now it's causing mental issues in those ladies. So, she just said this not too long on Godfrey's show. And, it's definitely a conversation starter, especially for those ladies out here who have children with multiple men. In her case, she said more than two. I don't know why she's saying if you just got two, then you're good. Obviously, one is fine, but then you go to three or more, then you get mental issues because so much, you got 3 different DNA samples from men in the body, like she's saying. So, I mean, it's definitely not a crazy statement, but something to look into. I don't know, to my ladies who are listening, if you got kids by 3 different men or more, Do you feel it's affected your mental? And I'm not just talking about if baby daddies drive you crazy for just not doing what they supposed to do or they get on your nerves. I'm talking about, do you physically feel something? Do you feel you're starting to look like them on the physical level, face and everything? Because his DNA, our DNA, the men's DNA, the sperm is inside of you, from what she's saying. I don't know where she got her research from, and like people are already pushing back. The people on Godfrey's podcast, they were in agreement with her. They said it makes sense. They might not know if it's true or not, or we'd have to get some medical experts. But for her to say that, I guess it would, obviously she's pushing protection using condoms. That's good. And she's trying to cut down on how many baby daddies that women have. And if that gets cut down, I mean, I guess vice versa. So, men don't have so many baby mamas out here. We just having kids, but, no family. But she said the women can't genetically modify the men, obviously, because there's nothing coming from you all going into us. It's the other way around. So that makes sense. Now, if you want to get into the esoteric side of it and soul ties, and that's why they say there's no such thing. I've heard Zaza Ali on YouTube say there's no such thing as casual sex because you're not just able to get up and just move from a person. Men and women laying down with each other, and I'm assuming it's the same for two men laying down with each other and two women laying down with each other. You got soul ties, energy being exchanged, not just the DNA. Now, this is more on the spiritual side of things where you taking in everybody who that person's been with, just, on a spiritual level. The energy's being transmitted, and that part they say can affect you mentally, physically. And so you have to be real careful who you have sex with, not just from diseases, infections, but just also where it could put you on your spiritual mindset and that type of energy. So, it's a lot that goes on when you lay down with someone. And I know there are plenty of people out here who've had a decent amount of people, but I guess now is the time to really put all of that into focus. Let's just try and keep it down to one if we can. If you're doing polygamy, where you got that's a guy and two, three different women, or a lady with two, three different men, that's a whole nother story. I don't think the majority of people do that. I think it's more monogamy, minus if you're cheating, but that's just what people set out to do. So the time is now. I know people are out here asking body count. Some people don't want to reveal it. It is what it is. But from here on out, let's just try and keep it down to one at a time for both men and women, regardless of what Tiffany is saying, even if there is some truth to it. And I want my ladies to chime in and let me know if you all agree. If you have kids by three or more different men, how has that affected you? Even if you got them by two men, how has that affected you? So I'm just now finding out about these comments. She made them last month in June, so they definitely very recent. And with all of the relationship talk that goes on, this just adds to it in terms of who we are having sex with. And we just have to, really vet people, meaning ask them questions and go from there. It may or may not work out. If it doesn't work out, that doesn't mean in between you and the next person that you start racking up a high body count just because. Some people get upset and just want to be by themselves, but they still have sexual urges, and so now the body count gets added to. So we have to be careful with that and don't leave situations with a person before it's too soon. I mean, obviously recognize the signs when it's time to go, because who you with now is not necessarily your end game, but it's all a lesson. But let's not take on extra lessons either by, just adding up body count, sex with this person, sex with that person, sex with that person. Let's be careful with that because it's a lot going on spiritually and physically when having sex with a person. Some people say sex is only for having a child, and other than that, people should not be doing it. Obviously, that's not the case, but let's prevent the pregnancy when we don't want to start a family. Let's continue to do that if you can. I mean, I know people can because there are a lot of those that didn't. And it's a lot of men in child support court with a mean look on their face. So that's another lesson learned, especially to anybody who's under 18 and who hears this. And once you get into the dating scene and you know where it's at now, you know, it's still the same issues and, you know, men upset at women, women upset at men, things like that. But let me know what you all think of these comments from Tiffany Haddish on women who have multiple baby daddies. Is she correct? I really want my ladies who have kids by three or more different men. Do you feel she's correct about your situation? Or if you know someone who has kids by uh, three different men or more. I know ladies who have kids by more than three different men, you know. And in knowing them from years, you know, I'm friends with them. And, you know, they seem to be cool ladies. I don't live with them, but I've never had any kind of negative interactions with them where I feel like they're just off. But, you know, if you guys have seen different, experienced different, put it down in the comments below about what Tiffany just said. Again, this is my reaction video to the content creator. Please drop that and go and support their channel as well. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Facts or Feelings, all one word, no spaces. Put that in the YouTube search, Facts or Feelings, no spaces, and my channel comes right up. Like this video. Let me know what you guys think about what she said down in the comments. And send any topics you want me to talk about or videos you want me to talk about to my email for YouTube. That's cregear.mj@gmail.com. That will be down in the description of the video as well. cregier.mj@gmail.com. And that's about it. Let's be more sexually disciplined overall. Whatever body count you have right now, that's what you have. But moving forward, let's try and keep things more contained so we don't have these extra relationship issues that still have to be corrected, but you know they're going to be there since men and women are still checking for each other. And then of course you got, you know, men checking for men, women checking for women. Either way, it's people putting their energy with each other, and these are some of the things we have to worry about, you know, and we just take it from there. I'm out. Stay cool.